If I have to choose between etymology or the definition when it pertains to words and sounds, we go for etymology. Etymology is supposed to be the roots, so I like things that has to do with roots. I always kind of drawn to things that has to do with roots of things, like the history of things, like the origin of things, like the origin of things, like the genesis of things. So I'm always kind of drawn to that area. It's like a magnet. So now when we're talking about that choice, that has to, if a choice has to be made, then it has to be etymology, because etymology is closer to getting the picture of why some words came into being and why they've been used certain way. So I always like etymology. Though sometimes the definition of words, they have their purpose as well, but the roots, who doesn't like the roots, I'm not here. For me, I'd rather deal with etymology, deal with the roots of things, than to go for the hybrid type. So that still has its roots in the etymology of that root of that word or anything. So we have this kind of attraction to things that are old. Sometimes we equate, sometimes we see wisdom in old people. We equate wisdom with old people. We equate old people with wisdom, elders. Call them elders, People always talk about my old things. Like people talk about, sometimes they brag about their old gadgets, like old TVs, old cameras, all those things, electronic gadgets in general. Then the non-electronic one, we still brag about it, like our furniture. Like people say things like antiques, you see. So there's like classic. Well, even when we use the word classic, like classical history, and this kind of feeling and respect for classical history. This kind of feeling and respect for antiques, like antique furniture, things that are very, very old, And you could see, even in our modern day, you could see the kind of energy that people actually put into making antique products. That's why they last so long, because people have the vision of at least so many years. Majority, as things get into our world now, we put the financial reward forward before we even make products, because I remember my father's camera. Yeah, my father's camera was kind of if you have to do it chronologically speaking, based on physical manifestation, that camera was older than my present incarnation. So that's just unbelievable. But they don't make those kind of cameras anymore. Majority of our products now, most of them don't last more than 3 years. Then you have to go and change them. Whereas, say like 60 years ago, people were making products that could last a lifetime. Some people were having some lifetime guarantee on products. And I'm just talking about products that we use now. So there's this kind of respect and some kind of values attached to antique, attached to old stuff, like old tradition. It's a reason why some people don't want to change, Even I spoke to one brother yesterday when say he doesn't like the change because of the old one. I was like, yeah, I'm like that, but it just depends on what type of change are we talking about. Because sometimes some things that we consider very old doesn't have to be. Some of them are not progressive either, you know. So we have to have a clarity on that. So, but all this relates to everything that we use, you know. So now, if we not kind of focus on the words and sound and vibrations, etymology of words will do better for me than the definition of words. You know, because before you can have a definition of something, or you give a definition, that thing has roots, right? You know, the roots of that thing has to be the physical manifestation of that thing, so that we can feel or touch it, or hear it as a sound and vibration. So that's got a root behind it. Now after that root, now you can now give definition to it, and that definition now could be the same word, but if you go to different cultures now, then that same word will have a different meaning to it. Yeah, so which if people don't really say that, if they don't think for a minute, that can cause a lot of confusion and can lead to some undesirable results, you see. So all these things so that's why I always like etymology. Majority of words that we use today, some of them have been they have been unchanged, or some of them have gone through a lot of changes as well, you know. But it's good to have in mind that they all have roots, just like humans, we have roots as well, just like the trees have roots. So etymology is like history, you know. The great Marcus Garvey educates us on the importance of history when he says that people without their history is like a tree without its roots, you know. See? So, and if you apply that to human being, we have our roots as well. Everything has its roots, you know. So if I have to choose between etymology and the definition, then I'll go for the grand finale. I'll go for the root word, you know, which it will be etymology, or wherever we call it. That, like the source, you know, everything always has a source as well, like river source, sea source, you know. Everything, no matter how great or small, always have their source of origin. You know, Yoruba call this orison, you know. Sounds like horizon, yeah? Sounds like horizon. It's not the same spelling, but sounds like horizon, orison, you know, which is Yoruba say that as origin, you know, orison, origin, you know. So that would be the etymology in that sense, the roots of things, right? So yeah, just a quick video, you know. So because I know some people might there's a lot of people that have interest in knowing the roots. That's why some people will go and study linguistics, trying to find out not just the definition of language, but the roots of language, you know, which can lead us back to even the origin of human, yeah, origin of human being, you know. Right. Yeah, so you can check them out, you know. They both serve good purpose, but if I have to choose, etymology has to be the king, man, right? So you know, my metala, I share.